10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
In between coming out onto this pitch then and leaving it 80 minutes later, Swansea and Newport between them will have won and lost the cup. Now, each club has been here to the final once before, but whereas in 1976 Swansea lost last year, Newport came here and they won, and therefore this afternoon they are defending their trophy. Now, they have been favoured in the draw. They had no fewer than 4 home games, culminating in a close, some say a lucky, win over Pontypridd. And then the semi-final against Aberavon, they won on the smaller Cardiff Arms Park ground in the mud. And what a contrast that was to the condition of the National Stadium this afternoon, which looks absolutely superb, and that's the handiwork of the groundsman here, Bill Hardiman, and his staff. Swansea's cup run has been consistent rather than spectacular, with Newbridge giving them their hardest opposition in the early stages. And then the afternoon that seems to have made them favourites came at the Talbot Athletic Ground with a stirring semi-final win at Cardiff's expense. For the first time, it looks as if the final is a sellout, and now it has established itself as the next best thing to an international occasion in Wales.
The holders, Newport led by David Bircher, but having to use another British line, Gareth Evans at standoff through the unavailability of a couple of regular men. A third British line at scrum half, Brynmore Williams, and the fourth, Jeff Squire at number 8. He's going to be up to his neck in the struggle to contain the Swansea 8. That's Bircher, 13, the Newport captain. Swansea led from the centre by Meredith, but the pack is their strong suit, with Llewellyn, Wheel, Trevor Evans and Keyworth, all cap players. Richards and Donovan behind the scrum are young men who are soon to tour Australia with Wales's premier squad. Alan Meredith, Swansea's captain, also in the centre. Swansea go right to left then. And the ball with Ken Davis at the flag inside to Brynmore Williams. Key man in the Newport effort this afternoon, Brynmore Williams. A year ago he was with Cardiff, but since coming to Newport he's transformed their back play. Swansea have Phil Llewellyn right at the front. The powerful Wheel is jumping second. Howell Hopkins tucked in wearing 1. The action was with Moriarty, that was his tap down, and Steve Jones, number 2, Newport's hooker, breaks away. That's Watkins in possession. We've moved out of Newport's 22. Brynmore Williams' first pass to Gareth Evans, and the centre that Newport have had to convert the standoff puts his first line kick in. Now, Gareth Evans at Cross Keys did have a lot of experience at standoff, so it's not as if he's a novice there. Jeff Herdman is Swansea's hooker. Moriarty wins, Phil Llewellyn down to Hugh Davis. This is Richards, his captain Meredith. And they're going to test the mettle of the Newport defence inside the 22. Webber has dropped it, and Swansea are just 10 metres out, look. A fall by Jeff Watkins, and Trevor Evans is there for Swansea. First with the ball, and Swansea are going to have the put-in. Well, that towering Gary Owen by Meredith certainly paid dividends. It was dropped by Webber. Number 9 for Swansea to feed the scrummage is their new recruit this season from Mumbles, Hugh Davis, a man with 10 tries under his belt. Newport will have to watch him. This is Richards looking at the drop. It's over! David Richards strikes the first blow, and Swansea lead 3-0. David Richards' 4th drop goal of the season. Swansea supporters thrilled to bits. Let's take another look. A rather ragged service from Davis. He was harassed, and Richards had a lot of time, look, to do that, to make that score. Jeff Watkins with behind him Colin Smart, who skippered Newport last year when their Lions stayed out of the fray. Keyworth couldn't hold that up. Phil Llewellyn, valuable tidying. Richards' kick as Jeff Evans came across him. Webber waits, no mistake this time. Gets it away to Ken Davis. Goes through Howell Hopkins, puts it into space. Blythe coming across to cover. Ken Davis again with Newport support there, and they've overrun it. At least was there, plays it to Steve Jones, to Rhys Morgan, and the Newport pack is on the rampage and driving into Swansea's 22. Colin Smart, number 1, goes in as well, and it's going to be a set scrum. And perhaps all the talk about the havoc that the all-white pack was going to play with Newport has stung Colin Smart and his men to great heights. They looked good then. Flanking on this side is Lees and Keyworth. There's the channel, keeps Brynmore Williams safe. That's interesting, to Lees with Squire in close support, and 7, Jeff Evans, the other back row men, and Moriarty and Keyworth and Trevor Evans have their work cut out, and they lose out. The whistle is going to go, and it's offside against Swansea. Mr. Norling had been playing advantage, and from almost the same angle as 5 or 8 minutes ago, Chris Webber comes for another shot at the posts. That's Webber's shot, and that's the scoreline that he wants to do something about. Webber. And the National Stadium goes pretty quiet for a tense kick at goal. That's a bit of feeling for Webber. That's a marvellous feeling for a place kicker. His big-time nerves remained dead calm, and we're all square. We're just inside Newport's half. Lees it was, who finger-tipped it back to Brynmore Williams. Gareth Evans to Neil Brown to Bircher. Well moved to Webber! Rees can pick up speed, he might get the try. Gareth Evans falls 1 metre out. Swansea arrived to try and rob him and score. Just as it looked as if Newport were whipping it rapidly and commendably across the line, the final pass almost went into the hands of Hugh Rees, Swansea left wing. So Newport staring danger in the face as Richards runs and gives it to Blythe, and he's given it to Donovan. Donovan didn't realise that Richards had looped, otherwise there must have been a try on the right. So close came Swansea, but they're not finished yet. Richards again in the action, Blythe again too, and this time it was Jenkins who can almost put Swansea in at the corner, and Newport hold on by the skin of their teeth. Horace Thomas, another international referee, with the flag up at the corner flag. The entry into the line of Blythe on each occasion, very important for Swansea, and he's hovering again, not too far back. That is Newport's try line. On the right, Steve Jones, with great care to Watkins. Swansea swarm, and they'll get a put in 5 metres out because Newport bundled the ball down over their line. Great pressure play by Swansea. Hugh Davis feeds. Away comes Trevor Evans from the blind side and mishandles. A little bit of frenzy evident in some of Swansea's attacking. 1 or 2 of their passes not quite being held or going to hand. That's a put-up offence in the front row. That's the crooked arm signal, which means Swansea can't kick at goal. They could have a drop shot, and indeed it's being taken by Gareth Jenkins. How straight is it? He's got it! Gareth Jenkins restores the lead to Swansea, and again it's through a drop goal. So here's the little ploy, coming off the free kick, the ball straight to Jenkins. He's in midfield, and that kick is straight and true, with the breeze giving it a bit of help. Mr. Norling beautifully positioned to give the signal. 6-3 to Swansea. We're close to Newport's 10-metre line, with Steve Jones picking Squire at the end. Good throw. Lees tried to jab it away to Neil Brown. It's forward from Brown, but Howell Hopkins serves it back to Davis. Now here's Richards with a little bit of space, and Donovan on his elbow, and across comes Brynmore Williams. Swansea anxious to get on with it, but Brian Leese, good anticipation, finds Neil Brown, the small Newport centre. Drives out of their 22, but Swansea rob him coolly, and they could have a lot of men over if Richards gives it to Meredith, and Meredith has Rees on his left, out back inside of Hugh Davis, and Ken Davis got in the way of Newport, but Meredith, the Swansea captain, is still with the action and puts a foot in touch now. A great touch player, Meredith, a fine footballer, and trying to inspire his side then, and nearly running them in. Backs to the wall again for Newport. Oh, and Herdman's going in! Jeff Herdman scores the first try of the afternoon and lifts Swansea to 10 points. He scored a clinching try against Cardiff, and now he does it in the cup final. That's Herdman's 10th try of the season. Let's have another look at it then. Newport's throw going wrong, Swansea defeating them, and Herdman, who used to be a sprinter in his school days, gets there and makes no mistake with a metre to spare between him and the flag. 10-3. (22) of Newport on the left. Debarging. Kick to Swansea. Blythe is coming up. That's the distance to Blythe, with Swansea's leads at 10-3. Can he push them up to 13? Crucial shot by Blythe, half a minute to half-time, and to go into the second half with a clear 10-point lead would suit the All Whites. Will it curve in? Yes, it does. Roger Blythe for Swansea, and they stretch their lead a little bit further, 13-3. Newport just inside Swansea's half. Squire losing out. Trevor Evans goes off the end of the line like a tank, and he drives right through Gareth Evans, and he drives through Jeff Evans as well, and he takes Swansea as far as Newport 22, where Webber's in trouble, and Keyworth's with the attack for Swansea, and the whole Swansea 8 is there. What a magnificent sight. They win the ball. Hugh Davis finally finds Richards. They got 2-1. Blythe with the ball. Bircher could stop him, but he may have put Donovan in at the corner. The flag is up. Oh, great attacking by Swansea. Evans' just wonderful burst, a superb maul by the forwards, and then nearly a score by Donovan on the flag. That magnificent move by Swansea delighted the hearts of the all-white supporters in the big crowd, and Swansea arriving comfortably at the interval, leading 13-3. We're going to rejoin the action now a little way into the second half, with Swansea going left to right this time. Slightly less room on the narrow side for Brynmore Williams to use this time. Squire holding and letting it go. Out it comes to Gareth Evans. Bircher, Webber's in the line. A beautiful pass to Bale, who can't go outside Blythe. A good tackle by Blythe. That was splendid running by David Bale on the Newport left, and good passing by Newport, and Blythe for Swansea did awfully well to channel Bale and tackle him. Hugh Davis, a rapid feed. Newport turns Swansea to cramp their style a bit, and indeed they have, and Blythe has to hack it away. Webber, Blythe is up on him very rapidly. Swansea win it. Davis to Richards. He tried to miss out Jenkins and find Meredith. Meredith is gripped by Bircher. Lease arrives for Newport to help. Penalty to Newport. Over the top by Swansea. And now perhaps with the breeze on his back, Webber might feel sufficiently encouraged to notch this one. Have a look at the distance to him. Allowing for the angle, 38 metres. Look at the stand in the background, the National Stadium North Stand, full all the way around the west end of the ground. Good sight. So can he strike again from 38 metres? Chris Webber. That's a good kick. He did it awfully carefully, with a very measured kick indeed, and he just gave it enough weight to cross the bar. The two touch judges held their flags down until the last second, but it's 3 points to Chris Webber, and Newport go up to 6. Crowd probably well above 35,000. That was Squire. This is Jeff Evans. They've got to get forward. Here's Bircher. Just over the head of Hugh Rees. That's imaginative play by the wing, giving himself an angle. Oh, this youngster, a boy of great promise. He's only 19, and he did that with great maturity. It looked as though Bircher's chip had trapped him there. Herdman to throw. Obviously for Hugh Davis to try and run onto, or Trevor Evans. Jeff Evans got there first under his nose for Newport. 7 for Newport, the last man to his feet. Newport's 22 this season. Brynmore Williams. Blythe inside his own half now. Webber waits, and Blythe's going to arrive at the same time as the ball. And Webber's got away from him. And he plays it to Gareth Evans. He can't get through the tackle of Meredith. That's Neil Brown. And the touch judge has ruled that it's just in on the full. In fact, it struck the touchline. It's Corris Thomas. The ball struck the touchline, and Corris Thomas has no hesitation in bringing Newport back. Clegg, good jump by Clegg. Phil Llewellyn completes the job. Hugh Davis taken by Steve Jones. Herdman fires it to Richards. The two Newport back row men push them across, but here's Meredith. The captain puts in the recovery kick and then gives his side a bit of a rocket for being in a bit of a turmoil then. That's his co-centre, young Gareth Jenkins. A glimpse of him. 12. The 10-metre line of Swansea. Squire backing off, give himself room. Brynmore Williams to Gareth Evans. Hugh Davis gave it to Hugh Rees, but the whistle went. Asked for a free kick in among all the tumult and noise. Hugh Davis, the little teacher from Mumbles. Webber's waiting, the ball is in field. So is that one. Blythe. Oh, charged down. There been a knock on by Squire. Mr. Norling has stopped running. Bad luck for Newport. A bit of a snatch by Jeff Squire. Perhaps surprised by his good fortune. He had support, and there would have been a try if he'd managed to clasp it. And a casual play by Roger Blythe. His first real mistake. Newport have got a kick. It's a full one. Swansea took the scrummage down, and this is a kickable free kick, a kickable penalty. Midfield to Chris Webber, and there you are, some 33, 32 metres out from the target. That'll do. Newport then through the boot of Webber, outscoring Swansea in this half. And now they've crept to within 4 points of them. And the National Stadium is a seething cauldron of excitement. Newport, the champions of East Wales, 9. Swansea from the West, 13. Almost the first time with 10 minutes of the second half left. The game left, almost the first time for Swansea to be attacking Newport in their 22 in this second half. Howell Hopkins, one of Swansea's props, waiting off this line out, and Richards is going. Dummy inside to Trevor Evans. He has Moriarty in close support, and also Wheel. Richards, Jenkins tackled by Brown. Play on Newport's 22. Least had got across there to help for Newport, and the play dies. Newport's defence really at full stretch then. Williams to feed this scrummage, which is on Newport's 22. Squire keeps Hugh Davis away from Brynmore Williams and tempts him offside. Webber with the penalty. It's a miscue. Blythe. Infield to Richards, with space to move. He's really gone, he finds Phil Llewellyn. And they've played it back beautifully. Here's Richards again, Meredith. Meredith missed by Bircher, but running into Gareth Evans. Swansea pressure is paying off, and Newport keep making small mistakes. Swansea are pinning them at these loose balls. Hugh Davis, Meredith. In touch on the full. Moriarty, his work against Squire has been excellent. Meredith, Jenkins. It's still in field. Webber. Playing a dangerous ball indeed to Bale. He was half-checked by Jenkins, and now he's in big trouble. And Newport are having to retreat a long way as far as their 22. Out it comes from Davis to Richards, and he's got to run after it. And Ken Davis is covering, and David Richards has almost caught him over the line. And the big farmer on the right wing doing some valuable cover for the cup holders. I think the emphasis of Swansea's display today has been control, and I think the men in the background, the Newport midfield, having to be reorganised for the final, has just never found its touch. Hugh Davis breaks. Neil Brown is with the ball, and Keyworth has him down savagely. And Swansea try and keep up the momentum, and Jenkins Gareth plays it to David Richards, who aims for the box. Newport a bit slow in wanting to know about it. Rhys Morgan got there. Swansea have played it back, and it comes to Gareth Jenkins, to Meredith. And little Hugh Rees is chasing it and heading for Webber, who goes to ground just about 10 metres from the flag. And it's played back by Keyworth, and Trevor Evans going for glory, and Jeff Squire has to get back to save for Newport. Swansea are finishing with a tremendous flourish, and one can't see Newport breaking this stranglehold now. Brynmore Williams to feed a scrum with a minute and a half of playing time left. Hugh Davis gets himself offside. Time for Newport to begin running it. Swansea hadn't got back 10 metres. Brynmore Williams slices that a bit. Jeff Herdman with the ball. Richard Moriarty wears 8 for Swansea, but Clegg wearing 5 wins. And Jeff Squire bursts away and gets as far as halfway. Trevor Evans tries to tackle him, and the flag is up. Jeff Squire leading Newport's last-ditch attack then. Have they got some more thrusts like that left up their sleeve? They're almost at the end of the 77-78 Cup competition, and it looks as if the holders are going to be foiled at the last hurdle by the men from the West. Jeff Evans with the ball as we move into injury time. Crowd has been on tiptoes or on the edge of their seats right through these preceding 80 minutes. We're in injury time in the Cup final at the National Stadium. Swansea 13 points, the holders Newport 9. Second great drive in the space of a minute. Now can Newport bring off the switch? That's an enormous pass, and Newport are free on the left, and Webber feeding a goal! And he knocks on! And the pass was a bit too ambitious, but he tackles Richard to stop the counter-attack, and Keyworth with the ball. And the cup holders aren't giving up without a struggle. David Bale, the pass just a half a metre out of his reach. And he and Chris Webber exchange condolences as Alan Meredith, Swansea's captain, jumps high. Swansea have won the cup. A great display of controlled pressure rugby. Not one of the great finals, but graced by a try by that man, number 2, Jeff Herdman, which in the end turned out to be the difference between two magnificent sides. I don't think Newport lived up to their supporters' expectations. In the midfield they scarcely offered, and one or two of their reputations behind the scrum were a bit dented. Swansea, though, lived up to it. They were the favourites. They've taken the Schweppes WRU Cup by 13 points to 9, and the Cup is bound west this evening down the M4 motorway. There it is. That's what they all set out in search of last October. Schweppes WRU trophy. Standing beside it, the president of the Welsh Rugby Union, Mr. Rolly Jones. And on the left, as you look, holding his arm out, is Swansea's chairman, a delighted John Llewellyn. Next to George Morgan, chairman of the WRU Competitions Committee. And the first of the All Whites, their captain, Alan Meredith, comes to claim Swansea's own. The All Whites have the cup. Alan Meredith, Jeff Wheel, Jeff Herdman, the try scorer. And there it is, a lucky 13 worn by Alan Meredith. Rolly Jones presents him with a cup, congratulates him. A great moment for this young lawyer, Alan Meredith, and for 14 Swansea heroes, and for half a national stadium full of Swansea supporters.